Welcome back. Today we're analyzing the material on Anthropic's new Agentic AI, Cowork.
The one designed for non-programmers, correct?
Exactly. And, the piece makes a really strong case for Agentic AI, but I can't help feeling we've kind of buried the most explosive fact.
I completely agree. The headline and the opening structure, they really underplay the most significant revelation.
Which is?
That Cowork itself was written entirely by Claude code.
Wow, okay.
And the weakness there is that by treating the product's features, sorting your downloads or whatever, as equal to this meta fact that an AI built the tool, it just dilutes the whole sense of technical acceleration.
It kills the punch. The whole AI built AI angle gets lost.
It's not positioned for maximum shock and relevance. So the suggestion, I think, is pretty clear. Precisely. So instead of that opening, Anthropic has released a new AI tool, you lead with the spectacle. You open by stating that the creator revealed all of it was written by Claude code, and then you pivot to explaining what this AI-built tool actually does for the user.
Okay, that makes a ton of sense. But speaking of shock value, that leads right into the fear factor, doesn't it?
It does. The warnings about operational risks, like accidental file deletion, they lack any connection to concrete mitigation strategies.
Right.
The material correctly identifies these unique agentic risks. Cowork can read, create, and edit files, but the only advice it gives is to be cautious.
Which is that's not helpful. It leaves the reader with fear, but no actual toolkit.
No toolkit for safe adoption. So the suggestion is to incorporate some of those deep engineering best practices we see elsewhere and translate them into actionable guidance for a normal Cowork user.
So, to make the warnings actionable, we give them practical controls. For instance, advise users to isolate Cowork's access to, say, a small project-specific folder.
Instead of just a generic folder like My Documents.
Yes. Or maybe for tasks that touch critical data, suggest using an external rollback mechanism, something like a version control commit before you approve a major action.
Exactly. That makes the risk feel manageable.
Okay, so we've talked about the what, the AI building AI, and then the risk management. But I felt the piece pulled me in two different directions about who this is really for.
I know what you mean. The shift between the non-technical target user and the really advanced underlying technology. It just creates structural dissonance.
Yeah, it starts by defining Cowork as a tool designed for non-programmers. But then you're immediately hit with things like the Claude Agent SDK and virtual machine for isolation.
And as a reader, you're left confused about your required technical literacy. Am I supposed to know what this is?
Right. So the suggestion is to create a much clearer conceptual break.
A break between the utility of the tool for non-coders and the implication of the technology itself?
Absolutely. After listing the non-coding examples, you could transition with something like, to the average user, Cowork handles simple tasks, but the true significance lies in the underlying architecture.
And that's your bridge. That lets you discuss the SDK and the virtual machine as proof points for robust execution, not as features the non-technical user needs to manage.
So, to wrap this up, first, we need to amplify that AI-built AI narrative right in the opening.
Then, link those operational risks directly to user-friendly controls, like folder isolation and version control.
And finally, clearly segment the discussion between the consumer utility and the deeper engineering implications.
That's it.
Remember, challenging yourself to refine these high-impact elements is how you accelerate the quality of your work. We look forward to seeing the next version.